exactly.
That's pretty good, right? Let's go to Oktoberfest.
Oh God, I'm tied up.
Oh, yeah, there you go. You got it. And can everybody hear okay?
Test.
Yeah, you're good.
All right.
Where exactly is the outfield located?
Oh, it's does it really say outfield? Damn it. It's supposed to say outside stage. And that's
Okay.
going to be so the Civic Center is on Sanford Ave. Then there's Monroe Hall on the corner of Sanford Ave and First. It'll be kind of in that parking lot behind Monroe Hall.
Okay.
Those are some last-minute changes that we had to make because of the hurricane.
All right,
Yeah,
so no
but-
more outfield. That's not what it's called.
It's supposed to-
Outside stage.
Yeah.
okay.
Where'd you find that?
And do we want to officially call it Novemberfest?
You
or
may have
still
changed
call it
this
Oktoberfest?
after.
Did I send it to you at least?
You sent it to, but
Okay.
you sent it to me weeks ago.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as you didn't like pull it off the internet. I
No,
was like,
no,
oh,
no.
Yeah, this is the one that this is the one that Theo handed me outside.
There's a better one now.
He's been passing out flyers all day.
Yeah, he's been in Baldwin just blanketing everywhere.
I just printed this out from the old email you sent me. So.
Cool, that's fine.
Sometimes it
Just
doesn't even
arguing.
matter because, like yesterday, I edited something on our website and I made the change, and then I sent the file to our web guy to put up there, and he just found his own file and put that up there.
Oh, good.
So then it made me feel like I was driving myself crazy, and he's like, "No, it's me. I put up the wrong file." But I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
"Am I doing something? Am I crazy?" All right, you ready, buddy?
Yeah,
Would
yeah.
you like to start?
Sure.
And you met Chris,
Yes.
Hello.
our Pokemon. I'm not going to call you that, though. I'm a professional. All right,
It's so hard.
here we go. 3, 2.
Welcome back to a corporate time. We've got Holobox here. How you guys doing?
What's going on,
How you guys
guys?
doing?
How you guys doing?
Gay. Doing good, guys.
Why? Why doesn't my brain
You
and
got
my
too
mouth?
excited with all this delicious food sitting
Well,
in front of you.
I do my move where I turn away and then I go, "Hey!" And that's my that's my
Away from the mic?
That's my move, yeah, because I'm yelling that like as if we had an audience here, and then you usually swoop in with, "How's it going?"
I said what I said.
Stand by it.
Chef Pat, Chris, and Eric are here.
What's up, guys?
Oh,
and
yeah.
We're going to talk about the rescheduled
Yes.
Holobox Oktoberfest that's happening this weekend.
I've had people ask me, like, did I miss it? And I say to them, no, you did not. Absolutely,
That's right.
you did not. It
Because-
just had to be rescheduled.
Yeah, the hurricane and the flooding, and it kind of had to all be done last minute because the flood water started rising after the hurricane was done.
Yeah.
So it didn't reach its peak until when, like 5 days after the hurricane or something?
A little bit longer than that, Eric. I know you were the one that was studying the
Our hydrologist.
Yeah, I've been
Wow,
paying
that's-
attention to all the reports. Apparently, it's like the most Sanford has ever flooded, and the only time close was like 70 years ago. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was like a 100-year
I mean, it's almost
event.
like the Earth is dying.
Hmm.
Almost.
Yeah,
Almost.
And so at the time, I remember we even talked about the dates from the previous October, the same Oktoberfest, and then but we didn't know it was like you had to wait till kind of the last minute to move it because
Right,
as
we
the-
waited till last, like the week of,
Yeah, yeah.
just in case it worked out. But the water level was still high, and it's been receding at a pretty good pace. And the city of Sanford's been working really, really hard to make sure the streets were cleaned up.
Nice.
The smell around the Civic Center is not as bad as it is some other places down the road because the city's been kind of focusing on this.
So now the
knowing that
Civic
we're having
Center
an
has a
event.
good smell.
All right.
All right.
Let's
Thanks
not
for
push it.
looking
Let's not
up.
No more mothballs.
There's so many air fresheners out there.
Really? Is that what people were doing?
was it Lake Monroe that that breached its banks?
Yeah,
or
the
whatever?
lake crested over the seawall and was just a good 300-400 feet over the street.
That's crazy.
Past the Civic Center. The Civic Center's high enough up where it didn't go inside.
And I'm sure nobody drove their big trucks through the water.
The police were doing pretty good job keeping people off the water over there.
Yeah, they were doing it here in Baldwin too. We have a notorious like road about 2 streets over this direction that will actually get so flooded that it will lift up the back of your car and you'll see cars move. That's how
Really
much
hydroplaning.
Yeah, it's crazy, but they were parked down there and waiting for people and just popping them.
But it's dry now.
Nice. So is it weird trying to pull off an Oktoberfest in November? Or does the whole
It's all the
does the
yeah.
whole thing encompass? Does it have to be in October? Nobody said that.
So remember last time we were here, we found out that it starts in September
Right.
in Germany anyways.
Right.
So in America, there's never a bad month to celebrate beer
That's what I'm
at an
thinking.
outdoor festival. We've done it one other time. We got rained out. and we had to postpone it. But that was when it was a 1-day event. This is the first time we've had to move a whole 3-day event. And we were pretty lucky. Everybody except for one entertainment act, who is a single person act, was able to rebook for our dates.
But that was Celine Dion, so I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry to everyone because that was gonna be...
David Hasselhoff is no longer available.
The Germans love it, but hey, you got the dancers.
The
I see that on
dancers.
That's your favorite part, Tom.
The German dancers.
He loves the German.
The
dancers.
whipping boys, right?
Yeah, the German whipping boys. Yeah.
Well, apparently it's real hard to get young German whipping boys because I've tried for years.
Okay.
Yeah. He's been online every night. We go
Dancers are
online.
easy.
They
trying
fetch a premium,
Yeah,
Tom.
we've been every night. We go online looking for little boys, and they're just not. There's no German dancers.
So basically, there's events going on at the Civic Center, the outdoor stage, and Hollabox restaurant, like kind of simultaneously, or are they
Correct.
staggered? How does that work?
I think there's some overlap, but the restaurant's got Jimmy and Eckhart and Sepp. Is Sepp inside, Eric?
Yeah,
I don't have
Sepp
the
will
thing in
be
front of
there.
me.
Yep.
Sepp's my favorite. He's one guy. He's like 93 years
Oh,
old.
I'm
and
listening.
he plays the sitar, the ding 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 ding. Like he plays the backup music for SpongeBob. It's like all that. Just on his one little. And then
I have to
What
see
do you
has
call
that.
a sitter?
Szither.
A sitar? A
Zither.
zither? A zither.
His name's Sepp, and he's pretty famous at the zither. And then he does like the whole 45-second prolonged yodel. At like a high C or something like that. It's
What?
amazing.
I
And
gotta
he's just,
see that, and
dude,
he's really old.
He's like 90,
Oh,
and,
that's
and he
fantastic.
stops in the middle of a song, and he'll tell a dirty German joke or have some off comment that only the Germans understand, and
Yeah.
only really the old Germans understand.
Right.
And then just get right back in the middle
Well,
of the
let's not
song.
get too old, you know. Let's keep it on the. You know,
Yeah, right.
Keep it in the.
Well, it feels like any old person that plays a uncommon instrument.
Yeah.
I feel like there are no new people learning that instrument, and there's like you will never hear that instrument again live. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like after he stops, no one's going to take his place. Like,
and no one can because it's such a craft. Like,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
in order to learn it, you have to put in tons of man hours. I'm
Years.
sure. Yeah. We had harp at our 4-year anniversary party. We had an electric harp player, and it was also an old man. So we too are obsessed with old men playing
Dying arts.
unique instruments.
When
It
he
is-
plays at the restaurant, he should, like if he's there for a 4-day
Yeah.
gig, he's there when we open to get breakfast, a bowl of soup, whatever. He drinks German orange Fanta all day long.
German orange
He walks
Fanta.
around, even when he's not performing. He walks around, talks to the tables.
Yeah, chirping.
Oh
Oh my God, this is what I'm going to turn into.
Yeah, that's my
When I'm
point.
older.
Dan, learn the zither.
Yeah, it looks really hard though. I bet it's like super duper hard.
It's amazing. I'm astounded every time he comes in and plays.
Well, that's really cool. So
how
you got
can a 95, 93, or
93.
90, but like you see some of these older people, they can still drink like full fat Fanta and like
Yeah.
Cokes and like, you know what I'm saying? They don't mess around with diet anything.
No.
And he's
And-
small. He's thin.
Yeah.
yeah, like, but I feel like his body like evolved to be able to take and process that over.
Well, he was alive before penicillin.
Yeah.
We learned
60
this
years.
earlier.
I've
so
also-
and like we can't
stronger.
even. I have
also-
one Fanta diabetes feed.
Well, I've noticed that like older people, like Andrea's granddad, he's 99. Like we've got
Yeah.
people like 93 with Sepp. Like you've got these people that, and they're little and they're in shape, right? And I don't mean little as a derogatory. I actually mean it as a compliment. It's like I don't think they eat or drink to excess. Like me, you, everybody in this room. Sorry, but you know we go a little harder than they do, right? Like Granddad, he sits down and he'll have like a boiled egg and a small
Yeah.
cup of coffee. And he's good for a while.
Excess. I don't puke when I eat. There's no excess.
Right.
I stop.
Like Seth probably has a couple of beers and then he plays. You know, like me, I'll have like 30 beers.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
it's just
you're
when you
right.
go to excess, then you're not small anymore.
Well, speaking of food and drink,
Yeah.
we should talk about
Let's
the
talk
fest
about
bands,
it.
right? I would suggest everybody buy them pre-sale.
Yeah, you guys have your fest bands on.
Always rocking.
No,
So
explain
For
that.
So
you
you can go to
guys as well.
hollerbox.com/Oktoberfest and you can click on the link for the pre-sale there. I would do that, and then you can load it up, and then as soon as look at this. Here we go, right
Oh
here.
yeah,
Fest
that's
band.
nice.
You load up your fest band.
Thank you, sir. Well, got it. That is.
With
see
some
y'all there.
funds, and then you can buy different foods and drinks while you walk around.
And then, am I correct in that Sam told me if you load this thing up and you don't earn all of it, you can march your happy butt on down to the restaurant and use it there?
Yeah.
correct.
After the festival, it'll just be like a gift certificate at the restaurant.
Cool. And
This
then
is dope.
you could use it as long as you keep your fest band,
Or at the next fest, sure.
Okay, cool. The new I saw this at the air show. This is the new style of event
ticketing,
wristbands,
yeah.
which is the cloth, right? Now
It's fancy.
It is fancy.
It's fancy, but impossible to, like at the end of the event when you're driving
Yeah.
home drunk and you're I'm not joking.
I usually pull it off when I'm in bed.
But
And throw it on the floor.
yeah, but you grab that in and you pull it off. You cannot do that with these.
No.
you.
This is
We've
a
got
little more
a
finesse.
handy little resizer, so you don't actually have to break it.
Yeah, this is.
They didn't have that at the air show. The lady told us, like, once you have it on, you have to cut it off. Like, it does not come off.
Now this one is like, it's got like a little.
This one's adjustable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this one's got like I could really put this on any part of my body if I wanted to.
Yeah, go for it.
We should get these for our beer fest, even though
I
we
think
already
we should.
we already ordered the
paper ones in there.
We
We
got
got-
the old
yeah.
school paper sticky.
That's
pull
because-
your arm hair off.
That's because this is like $3, and that was like 1 cent, and I gotta let them air out. I gotta let them. I gotta let them off gas. They're in there woo handing it off. I got 400 wristbands in there woo hand gas and everything.
So, and then is it in Saturday or Sunday? I forgot.
Sunday, 6 p.m.
Okay.
Sunday at 6.
So basically, starts on Friday, ends on Sunday.
Yes,
events
sir.
the whole weekend. So get your fest band early. And the easiest way is through the website pre-order, right?
Yeah, get a pre-order. You can even pick it up too if you're in Sanford
Okay.
before the events. You won't even have to wait in the line.
That's what I would do.
You know, when you
If
get
you're at the
there.
restaurant anytime this week, you can purchase them at the restaurant, at the Outfitters, at Bicicleta.
Not Bicicleta,
Okay, not
but at our
Bicicleta.
market too. So
Okay, cool. At the market as well. Yeah, swing through. You could grab a beer, sit at the bar.
Get a new pen, touch tips.
Get a pen, ask for Chef Pat, touch tips, grab your fest band, and go home.
Load your money on
Can
it.
you
Be ready to rock.
Can you get and you can get for other people, or did
Sure.
the person doesn't have to be present?
yeah,
Sure.
no, basically
Very
you
cool.
get the Fest band and then you'll scan it to your NFC reader on your phone. So whoever's got it, can each do their own phone or whatever.
That's dope.
Yeah, somebody picked up 4 the other night while they were in, just because they wanted to make sure they had them for their group.
I like that.
11
Very, very
the other
cool.
day.
What's the most unique artist you have performing? Is it Sepp? Is he the most unique?
Yeah,
Not
it's got to be
Fritz, yeah.
it's got to be Sepp since our guy Fritzy he canceled. He was our unicyclist. He was the one guy who couldn't make it.
Uniballist.
yeah.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
How do you?
Hold on, what did he do?
Yeah.
Everything.
Unicycle, ball. He had a ball with a barrel on top that looked like he was like a single man in a gondola.
Stilts.
He
Props.
made that at the festival though.
Yeah,
He's
he had
like,
an
I got this
went to
idea,
Lowe's.
and like put like a trash can on a skateboard and was like going around the festival like paddling around. It was crazy.
Hold on.
He's amazing.
Yeah, you invented all your crazy
He's not
German
on a
friends.
stage. He's
I like
everywhere.
Okay, so basically he a trash can on a skateboard.
He crowd works.
that. Yeah, I like that.
He goes between the
But he's not
restaurant
going
and
to
the
be
event,
there.
right?
We're
He
talking
won't be
about the
there.
guy that's not going to be.
Yeah, I know.
With a tennis ball at the end of a stick.
But we
and
miss
just
him so
rode
much.
around the event.
So
Too bad the floodwaters.
we're
He
gonna
couldn't
miss
make it
him.
through.
But
So as we move into like the holidays and like going into December and
I
Christmas
can't believe
time
it's
or whatever,
already November. It's crazy.
is there anything at Hollabox like after our Oktoberfest event that?
No, we shut down for the rest of the year after this.
Well,
Yeah.
Because I know there's like German
pipe
pudding,
dream.
like dessert wise. I feel like holiday season at Hollabox, like there's all the desserts, right?
So like your Lebkuchen, your gingerbread, your Pfeffernuss, all the spiced type desserts.
Those all
with
start
that
to roll
cinnamon
out.
and clove and allspice and nutmeg, those really warm winter spices.
Yeah.
But we got pumpkin stuff rolling until December right now. Glühwein's always my favorite.
Glühwein. Yeah, I like
The
Glühwein.
hot wine, you can get hot wine drunk.
Hot wine drunk is, oh man, it's fast.
Yeah.
If you drink a cup of hot wine fast, oh man, it hits you hard.
You know, when I was carving our pumpkins with the boys.
I saw you carved a pumpkin to bully your son, and
yeah,
I thought
yeah.
that was me.
Yeah,
Did you see that?
I did see
I saw that. I
Yeah.
go. I was like, that is terrible.
You know, it's funny because emotional people take that as a mean thing because other people were like, how could you do that?
Yeah, I was like, why would you do that?
And I'm like, we're laughing, but Tommy, we're all laughing at it, and then we take it as it's funny.
Like, how dare you?
Yeah, but he's doing that uncomfortable laugh.
No, he's my son. He laughs at it. It's like, why does some kid call me a scientist because I have big teeth and crazy hair? He thought it was funny. Anyway, the pumpkin. Did people used to just eat pumpkins?
What do you mean, like just grab a handful of
Well,
the guts?
Like an apple?
Well, I've been watching like
Can you eat an apple?
1883, and
Oh
like
my
everybody's
God.
dying and starving, right?
Yeah.
So I imagine there were hard
the
times.
pumpkin, don't die.
Well, like
Just taste the biscuit.
a pumpkin is edible, right?
Yeah.
And so, were there people that would just eat pumpkins raw, like eat the insides, eat the flesh
I
out
think
of
they
it?
probably roasted them or something, right?
Yeah, I would assume they cooked them in fire. Native Americans were known for eating squash and pumpkins, especially Florida, because they grow really well here. Like there's a Seminole pumpkin that's a heritage variety of
Oh,
pumpkins.
really? I didn't know we were a
Which
pumpkin
is-
state.
But squash, gourds grow really well here.
Would you just cut the meat? Like obviously you scoop the threads. And
No, you gotta
seeds
eat the
out.
threads.
So-
Eat the threads.
Do you eat the threads too? Do you just if
Yeah.
you're starving,
The
you're gonna
pumpkin
die.
noodles, the
all
guts in
the
there.
all the components.
I
You're
feel
starving.
like you
Because
could
you can
take.
toast the seeds and eat the seeds.
Yeah, but when people do that and they say,
Yeah.
I made pumpkin seeds, I was like, you're just saying you did that to say you did it. You don't like the taste of them.
I'm saying
It's just like egg on a hamburger or egg on a
I
pizza.
love pumpkin
You
seeds.
throw the whole pumpkin in the
Really?
I would rather, if I were alive in the 1700s, I would just throw the whole pumpkin in the fire. When it's soft, take it out, peel the skin off, and eat it.
okay,
Like roasting a tomato or
Right.
something. Like
and then it
Or
would just
potato, or
yeah.
shrivel up and become like gooey
Soft-
and
soft,
soft,
yeah.
and then
Yeah.
you just eat that.
Big soft pumpkin.
And I wonder what kind of calories it has. Like no one ever talks about because everything is pumpkin flavored.
Filled with fat.
I've never
Full fat pumpkin.
I've never been served or even seen someone eat any part of an actual pumpkin.
What about
right?
pumpkin soup?
Yeah,
Well,
I've had pumpkin
We've got
soup.
pumpkin soup on at the restaurant right now.
Yeah.
Is it literally mashed up pumpkin?
Yeah, you roast the
Pumpkin
pumpkins and puree it.
And then when you
Delicious.
when you cook like you're not cooking in a giant fire. Like what you get
cut,
just
so
the pumpkin
cut it
meat?
just like you do. You cut it, take the seeds out, then you cut it into.
You cut it like a watermelon.
You cut it into wedges, and then olive oil, salt, pepper, oven, roast it, and scoop the guts out. And
yeah, the soft
All
parts.
right.
mush it up, and
Yeah.
you can eat mashed pumpkin. There
I've
used to be a
had mashed
restaurant.
pumpkin
There was a
before.
restaurant
Really?
in Sanford
Yeah.
that served. It was like golden tile fish with roasted pumpkin. You got like a whole wedge of pumpkin that was just roasted, and you just ate it, just a piece of pumpkin.
I don't think I'm poor enough to start eating pumpkin.
Well, it's funny because
Not yet. Not yet.
Roasted
I'm
root
getting
vegetables,
there. I'm
throw it
getting
into
there.
roasted root veg blend.
Because as like we're scooping all the slime out of the pumpkin
Yeah.
and the carving it with my sons, or
I
like,
love carving a pumpkin. There's something very pleasing to a knife going into a
Dan,
pumpkin.
we like it because we're good at it.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at it.
and then as my sons are like, I don't want to, like
Yeah,
they're just
yeah, yeah.
disgusted by it. I'm like, this is food. we're doing the,
I think you could take those strings and kind of
make it into a snowball?
You could make like a patty. I really think you could. And
A
I think you
pumpkin
get a
seed
little
patty?
oil in your pan and get it hot, like medium high. And I think you could flash fry that.
pumpkin patty.
You could make a pumpkin patty.
But no one ever does that. Like
Maybe
the
it's the best
seeds-
tasting thing in the world.
No, it's not.
Wait till
reason
you
they're not.
taste a Little Danny's pumpkin patties. If I started a shop called Little Danny's Pumpkin Patties, would you come
No.
and try one of my patties?
I know it has to not be good because
How do you know?
No one does it. That's how I know. Like no one says, "Hey, you smush together these
Sam,
stringy-"
Google pumpkin patties. I bet you somebody does it.
Like I've heard roasted.
But I bet it's like mashed pumpkin.
it's got to be
Mashed and
Like
then like
yeah.
that. Well, that's like a
Like a
potato
latke,
pancake,
but with-
right? Yeah,
yeah.
like a latke. Yeah, exactly.
And then other gourds.
There are pumpkin patties.
Who sells them? Kroger.
So you're
There's
not-
just a recipe for it.
You're not gonna find it because you're gonna get a small amount of product yield out of a giant pumpkin.
Yeah, that's true. But you would think that it would be all over TikTok and people are like, "Don't remember, take your goo and smush it
Make
into
your
a patty."
patties, squish your patties,
Yeah,
and fry them up.
Perkins has pumpkin pancakes.
Yeah, well, pumpkin pancakes.
Again, it's a
are-
flavoring.
That's just
That's
a
how-
flavoring in a regular pancake.
Yeah, yeah,
and then
yeah.
a
We got
little
a science
orange,
project to do.
orange dye.
Yeah, because again, everybody loves the pumpkin flavoring.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the actual fruit itself. It seems like
Is it a fruit?
yeah. Right?
Is it?
Or no? Well, it's a gourd.
It's a gourd.
Yeah, but I mean, can a gourd be a fruit?
it's got seeds in
Can a
it.
fruit
It
be
is a
So-
fruit.
It is
Yeah.
a fruit.
So and there's some. Are pumpkins gourds or pumpkin squash? Because there's a difference between gourds and squash
Squashes,
too.
yes.
It's too much for me.
I like that we're opening up all these questions.
Also, the gourds with all the warts,
Warts on
them.
them. I know.
Those
He
are
hates 'em.
disgusting.
He hates 'em every
Where-
year.
Who would? I mean,
Yeah.
again, in a starvation scenario, it's life or death. You have to eat all the.
Yeah, I'm going to tell us something I did that was
Warts.
embarrassing. When I was dating a girl years ago, she bought one of those warty pumpkins before they got really trendy. There was a sweet spot where if you found one of those, you're just like, oh my God, this is totally unique. And I saw it, and I just trimmed all the warts off of it to make it a regular pumpkin.
I
That's
mean,
how dumb I am.
it just looks disgusting.
It does look disgusting.
But I mean, I wonder with the other gourds besides pumpkin if they get like sweeter if they're small. You know, like bigger things.
No, the little pumpkins will last for an entire year. You can buy a little pumpkin right now for 75%
I
off
disagree.
at Publix and leave it on your counter, and nothing will happen to it for a full year. It'll stay intact. But if you buy a big pumpkin and leave it on your counter, it can only make it about a month.
Disagree. I bought
Really?
the multi-pack of pumpkins and gourds, like the white and yellow,
Yeah.
whatever. Put them in a basket on the table because I'm going to run these from Halloween till Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you can.
No,
they didn't work.
No. Like I'm walking around, I'm like, did a dog like crap in the house? Like,
Yeah, no
I
preservatives.
can't find anything anywhere. The floor's clean, everything's clean, but I smell this smell for like 2-3 days. Finally, I see a fruit fly,
Oh no.
and I walk over. Outside, pristine. The whole inside,
from
the
the
bottom
bottom
sides
up,
of the
yeah.
pumpkins were just
rotted
mush.
out.
You know, I've heard that there's an old wives' tale trick that you can water down apple cider vinegar and rub it on the inside and outside of your pumpkin after you're done carving it.
I
And
heard
it will-
shellacking them with like shellac, and they're not gonna rot as
Oh,
fast.
that's a good idea.
or Vaseline. Now, Crystal
Yeah.
told me all this.
I
stuff.
Vaseline my pumpkins before I carve them.
And,
I have Vaseline my pumpkins before something else.
Different reasons.
well, let's. Crystal, she's like, I saw this internet hack, and you take basically a mixer,
Yeah.
like a cake mixer,
Yeah.
and then you use that
To scrape.
the strings out of the inside of the pumpkin. So
It
she
just
gets,
ruins
That
your
poor
mixer.
pumpkin.
Well, she gets the mixer out, and she's there, and then she's putting it in there, and the strings are wrapping
And they're
around the
gonna
mixer.
whip it. It's ruining the mixer.
And then I'm like, just scrape it out with a spoon.
Yeah.
Like and then now the mixer is covered
it's
in
ruined.
goo, and then the strings are wrapped around it. And I'm like, just do the traditional spoon,
Everything-
the big spoon.
Put your hand in there, gag through it. Right on.
I contend that most of your like 5-minute tricks or hacks on TikTok are just they're not going to improve nothing. It's just a worse way to do something, and then they just they try to get you to think it's great, but it's never great.
And you know, it's funny. My son's starting to pick up that a lot of them are fake hacks.
Oh,
because
they
he-
know it's fake.
Well, he said, "Is it real or fake?" And then I thought that was interesting, where he's now just
Well,
ingrained that
you're his father. You yell fake at everything.
That's true.
Well,
He's
because-
probably heard you say that a couple hundred times.
there's all these fake hacks that just get spread as like a BS. Like I don't even know why you do it as prank or just as a like
To
see
make
how
the
far.
world dumber, I
Clickbait.
guess? I don't know. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. It's it's like hey, let's see if how many people get fooled. Or
remember
hack.
when we all used to care about spreading lies?
Well, now it's
Remember when we were like, "Don't say that. That's not true."
it's a badge
Now
of
nobody
honor.
says that.
It's like spreading a chain mail or something. It's like how far will this go? Will it come back on my
Man,
feet?
You're
or
not old
somewhere
enough to chain mail. I got a letter. I got a chain mail letter when I was like, God, I want to say it was like 10 or 11. And my dad and that's when my dad gave me like a yelling speech about how I don't believe in that, got that. And he just went off about how don't send it. Don't you dare do it, Carol. Don't you send those letters out for him, because I guess I was supposed to send 13 letters to friends of mine. This is when we did letters, guys. Do you remember letters?
I
Yeah.
do remember that.
No.
I also, I think in middle school,
I got one, and I remember thinking like I really believed in I was going to get the curse if I didn't send those things out.
So again, get your Fest band. Pre-order is the best way, and all the festivities start this Friday at the restaurant. It starts at 4:30. Civic Center starts at 5, and then on the outside stage we got a band at 6.
Yep.
So
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and 3 different venues for all kinds of fun stuff.
yeah, just follow Hollabox on Facebook.
Yep.
It's the easiest way.
And all the traditional German food, we have some here that we can partake in.
Yes.
The pretzels, the
Currywurst,
currywurst,
some bratwurst,
yep, bratwurst,
potato pancakes.
all that stuff's going to be out
Even
there.
vegan worse this year.
Yeah, we're gonna have vegan stuff out there this year. We're gonna
That's
have
cool.
the turkey legs out. Were a big hit last year. We
Nice.
sold out. We're gonna have turkey legs again.
French fries.
Yeah, you can swing through in your boat, grab a turkey leg.
Awesome.
Treats.
All right, we will take a break, and we will be right back after this segment. We got a new thing on Thursdays on terrestrial radio
Oh,
only.
yeah, I forgot we were doing that.
So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Awesome.
I totally forgot about that too.
Yeah, I'm glad you remember that, buddy.
I
Nice stuff.
before I was saying we would be right back, but I was like, all right.
Right.
What's going
Which one is that?
Thursday
On-
2.
On Thursdays now from 8 to 9, we're playing a 2 segments from A Mediocre Time from the Friday before, and instead of more corporate time. So it's just basically, it frees up that second hour. We're kind of in the process to scaling back our content just because.
Oh, yeah, you guys don't even know about that either, Twitch.
Oh, you guys! I thought you guys were going to talk about that on Friday.
We will. I mean, no, I'm just saying it now, but they're not scaling back too much.
No, I mean
but-
I thought y'all did it last Friday.
Oh, no.
Okay.
We didn't even mention it.
We didn't say a word.
And it's only going to affect, we'll still have an ACT podcast Monday through Friday. It's just Thursday instead of it being 2 hours
It gives
long.
us more planning
It'll
time.
just
and
be
we were
45
getting in the
minutes.
weeds pretty heavy with having the pretty severe recording schedule, I would say, that we have. It's pretty darn tight.
You
Yeah.
put out a lot of stuff.
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
We do.
in
we're
a world
always
where
working, and we need to not do that so much.
yeah, well, it's just too much. We will still be working. It's just not producing content.
Correct.
And because
Focus on some stuff you feel like you need to focus on.
yeah. Yeah.
All right, that guy went out perfect. Well, thanks for coming in, y'all.
Yeah,
Thanks for the
having
food.
us.
Yep.
Are we recording after this again?
We'll
Are we-
do one segment. for
one more
Friday,
segment?
yeah.
Okay.
We'll just
I'll just keep it on then.
set change.
Yeah, we
explain this. My deodorant I have on today is really good. Smells great. Smells like a cologne.
What do you got?
Honestly, I don't know because I have a mommy. Mommy bought it for me. Yeah, so Thursdays, you guys will get a edited, well, I guess censored, not edited.
Yeah, it's only for terrestrial radio.
Yeah, it's really
so.
just for radio. Okay, what are we doing here?
Friday 1.
Friday 1. What do you want to do?
What you want to do?
What you
want
want
to
to
be
do?
a baller?
Shot caller.
Let's just do a voicemail.
All right. Got him. All right, bring us back, or start us. 3, 2.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan, our producer. Samantha's here. Hello, Samantha.
Hi.
I almost said hola.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
I don't know any Spanish. Isn't that sad?
Any?
I mean, hola, mi amo Daniel.
Well, you know, cat, dog, house,
perro,
chair,
gato.
you know, all the
I don't know
simple
house and
stuff.
chair. House, casa. I know that. Yeah. I honestly, I don't know anything. If I did know it, I would use it on the show because it's not like we don't have, a bunch of Spanish-speaking people in
Yeah.
Florida. I mean,
Well, this will
I
make
wish
you
I
feel
had
better. Tommy he went from a Spanish nanny talking to him in Spanish, only in Spanish, for the first 4 or 5 years of his life.
Mhm.
And then he went to elementary school and still currently is in dual language class, which means they teach half the class in
I
Spanish.
think that's great that that's an option.
And he knows no Spanish. He knows less than Daniel.
That's
So
says more about your son.
So that's half the Spanish he got
Yeah.
today was hard, right? Or does he just color?
No, apparently they teach it in English and then they teach it again in Spanish. So then I think he just tunes out the Spanish part. He's like, I already got it. I don't know. Something's happening.
Yeah,
there.
hey. It's,
Oh, how am I supposed to
or
know?
Yeah.
nothing's happening.
Yeah.
It sounds like
Nothing or
nothing's
nothing.
I
happening.
drop him off. He goes inside and go pick him back up. I don't know what's happening.
Adios.
Yeah, Florida school system.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of adults in there. They gotta.
Yeah, it's fine.
They gotta take care
Yeah,
of.
it's good. Let's plug something. Hey, go to Twitch and subscribe, or go to YouTube and subscribe to our stream, Tom and Dan Live. On Twitch, we're Tom and Dan Live. Also on YouTube, Tom and Dan Live. And we've been trying to do a lot more daily video content. We are streaming. We have a live stream every Monday through Friday that you can jump in there. You can chat with people. You can watch the show, interact with us, ask us questions. It's super fun. So
The
check it out.
frustrating part is
Get it off your chest, sir. That's what this show is for. This is your please get it off your chest.
He retained nothing. Like not even like.
Yeah, but like you,
I tell
what
Tony
would you
when he
bet
comes
on?
over,
You're
I'm
a
like,
logical betting man.
talk to Tommy in Spanish
Yeah.
and see if he even knows, because he hears it for hours every
Can he
single day.
understand it, but he just can't speak it?
No,
'Cause I have
doesn't-
friends.
Doesn't even understand.
Crystal's like that. Crystal and Andrea's like that. Okay, my wife Andrea is teaching herself German, and I don't know why. And every night for the past 6 months,
Maybe she wants to order at Hollerbox in German.
that would be pretty cool, yeah.
Right?
But like
a lot of work just for that.
Yeah, I would just point to the potato pancakes.
Yeah,
Give me
yeah.
the potatoes.
Yeah,
But
they know
she-
English.
She does that Duolingo. That's the name of the
Yep.
app. And she does it every night religiously. Like if we're out at a restaurant, she'll say, "Oh, wait, let me do my Duolingo lingo before we go in," or something. Like she is so dedicated to it.
Yeah, she got discipline.
And
I like that.
no, but I tell her every time I go, "Too old to learn it. You'll never learn it."
Oh.
No, because it's true. As you get older, you just can't retain stuff as well. So I try to keep her on her toes. I say, "It's not gonna work."
You just think that you would retain some of it, or like, oh, okay,
I
get
did
what-
German for 5
Nothing.
years in
Yeah.
middle school and high school, and I didn't retain any of it. I mean, I know a little bit. I know some funny phrases here and there, but not enough to do anything.
You have to be forced to learn a language, and then you can learn it. Like where you can't operate without it, and then if you just do it passively, I don't think it works. Especially if it's not at home too. Like all my friends that
It's like almost like a diet. You need a support staff at home
Yeah.
that helps you with the learning. You need to be immersed in it and in it all the time for it to function, I think.
My friends from Miami Miami that know Spanish but don't speak it at home, their kids
Don't know it.
Don't know it.
Right.
But my friends that do speak it, like speak Spanish and English at home, their kids know it, and you have to do it
Interesting.
that way. If you grow up with both, you
Yeah.
have to continually hammer it, and they have to speak it
Yeah.
at home with their parents. And
I
then
wish
that's
I
the only
had
way to
that.
learn
Like
it.
I think, it's one of the only things I can think of that if I were younger, I could. This sort of makes sense to me. Tell me what you think about this. I kind of feel like if you're young and you tell, like, if I were to hammer into Maisie right now that the only true superpower that she can learn is knowledge, I could say to her, like, you could have almost superpowers if you knew like 12 languages. Now, I don't know if she has the capacity to do that, but doesn't it seem like the people that can speak every language have a superpower?
Oh yeah.
That's a superpower.
Their brain is working so far beyond what I think is even possible.
Yeah.
I can't even comprehend how you know multiple languages.
I know.
The people
It's
that
nuts.
like you. see-
It's the most impressive thing to me. Like when
Yeah.
I've only met a couple people like this. Andrea has a friend that's like that knows like 5. If you know 5 languages and you talk to me, you're a superhero
Oh,
to me.
yeah.
Like I think that's the coolest thing in the world.
3.
3 is awesome.
I'm not impressed by 2 because I grew up in Miami.
Right,
Everybody knew
right.
2.
A lot of 2.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
a lot
yeah,
of
yeah.
2s.
Yeah.
But 3,
Everybody
the
had
third
2.
one's got to be a weird one.
Yeah. But if you have 3, if you can speak fluently 3
Yeah.
language, I'm not talking about a couple words in German. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm like, you can have fluent conversation in 3 different languages.
It's a superpower.
That
man.
is
it's
a
awesome.
superpower.
It makes me feel like I will look at you like in awe of you.
That's-
And you're better than me.
Yeah.
That's
agreed.
more-
And I will tell you to your face, I'll be like, you are better than me.
That's more impressive to me than like a Wim Hof or someone that can go into.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Or like,
It's more impressive to me than an awesome sports star. Like if you
Yeah, yeah,
know,
yeah.
like if you know, you're one of these cats that knows 7 languages. You hear that number all the time. You are amazing, and I don't understand it, and I think you're magic.
Because I can understand like Tom Brady throwing a football. Like, well, I can kind of throw a football, and I guess if I spent my entire life and dedicated to throwing this football, I could get better and better. You know what I'm saying? But the language, there is no way I could ever learn 5
Yeah.
languages, especially now, or the discipline and the amount of practice it would take. I don't even know how they did it.
Yeah.
Like how many language? Like they started that when they were young,
Yeah,
right?
normally it's when they started it in some sort of like boarding school or something where it was regimented and you had Latin and you had German and you
Well,
did
most
Spanish.
other
and-
countries, they force them
Yes.
to learn English.
Absolutely they do.
When they're in school.
And Tracy brings up an interesting point that like people hate it when people have an accent. You know, they'll be like, "Oh, I can't stand your goddamn
Speak English,
Speak
yeah.
English," but it's like you don't understand that person's smarter than you. They're
Right.
learning your learning
Yeah,
your
yeah,
dumb
yeah.
language. That's
Usually
really
later
hard.
in life, yeah.
English. I was an English major. English doesn't make any sense. Nothing. There's a
it's like
thousand.
the hardest language to learn.
There's 1,000 exceptions for everything that there's no there's
Rhyme or reason
absolutely
anything.
nothing is logical.
No.
Nothing connects.
Yeah.
You know, like Apple products, they all connect. Now, to a point. I mean, they're flawed. But I'm just saying, like, nothing in the English language makes any logical sense. And then they're learning it. They're
Yeah.
smarter than you.
And like we said, if you know 5 languages, it's the most impressive thing to us that you could ever do. And most likely you're poor.
Yeah,
You know what
you're
I'm saying? Like you're not rich because you know 5 languages. Like most people
Yeah.
who know 5 languages aren't that rich.
Yeah.
You know,
Some are, but I would say most aren't.
Not really, because like you spend all your time learning languages, and like now we have. I mean, your iPhone can translate language. It's kind of a dying ability because computers are taking over the.
They've got some pretty impressive translation devices that I've been seeing online that are just like they're real time.
Yeah,
where
they're
like
getting
as the
better and better
person's
now.
writing, it makes it look like it's written in English. It's crazy.
So there used to be a time where you could make an argument like, oh, if you knew like Mandarin, Chinese, and English, you could you have an advantage over some other businessmen because you could do business.
Yeah.
Like, and well, first of all, every like big businessman in China knows English because they've they've learned it so they can do business.
Right.
So really, there's no that much advantage for you knowing Chinese, but now with translator apps, it's kind of
Probably
useless.
makes it a lot easier. You're a TikTok guy, right? Like mostly, would you say? Like out of all the social media big ones, you know, you've got your Twitters, your Instagrams, your Facebooks, Snapchat, and and TikTok?
Well, I handle them different. Like I use them for different things. Like
Okay.
TikTok is just pure waste of time.
Okay.
Zero interaction.
Yeah.
I
Killing
thought
time.
you said you learned things on TikTok.
He was
Yeah,
making fun of the
I do, but-
misinformation on there.
But what I
think.
mean is I use it to waste time. Whereas like I
Yeah,
just
you don't ever post anything.
I don't
right.
post. You know,
Yeah.
I'll get information sometimes because like sometimes the things will pop up. I'm like, oh, that's interesting, but I don't interact with anybody. I don't comment on
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
And then Facebook, like the BDM page, I use to interact with our customers. I'll say
Sure,
or
yeah.
BDMs.
Clients, yeah.
And so I'll use that. And then like Instagram, I'll just use for posting.
Okay, I'm glad you mentioned it. That's the one we're talking about, and we have listeners that think Instagram has changed a bit.
Hey guys, I'll try to keep this clean so you can use it on any show, but have you noticed how Instagram has gotten really, really loose with their censorship lately? I mean, probably within the last 3 or 4 months. I mean, I remember a time not too long ago when you couldn't see a bar fight or a butt crack or anything. I mean, they were really tight. And now it is bare asses galore. I mean, it's all over the place. And you know, on the front side, you can basically see full frontal nudity now, as long as they're wearing like the sheerest of sheerest. I mean, thinner than a Castleberry lanai. I mean, it has gotten loose. I don't know if that's a staffing issue or if IG just gives 0 Fs anymore. But you know, I'm not complaining. I love it. And I just think it's just crazy how they've done a complete 180.
Have you seen any of this?
I have not noticed
Me neither.
No,
the
that's not on my algorithm.
loosening of regulations on Instagram.
If anything,
I'll-
it's been
I mean,
more.
sometimes it's just kind of like Facebook.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'll pop up, but it'll get flagged quick and yanked.
But I wonder if this guy is right in the fact that did they have more strict regulations and then loosen them?
Well,
as
Facebook's tightened down crazy, and they own Instagram,
Yeah,
so
a
that's
lot
kind of
of
odd to me.
A lot of the people that are getting bans, even in the BDM page, are not us, not admins. I mean,
Right.
I get an email a week from somebody that has an issue with the page, and they're like, "Hey, I can't post," and I'm like, I'll go and look, and it's
Not us.
Well, it's
Facebook
something else
community
they did,
standards.
yeah. And then Facebook saw them do something else, and then just locked them out. I don't,
Yeah.
it's weird.
You know, it's funny that when people like get flagged or get put in Facebook jail, or
I've
whatever
never
the
had that
hell
happen.
is,
I have.
they always point towards or like blame a person or like as if it's not just a computer
Yeah, I think
algorithm.
it's all automated.
Yeah, it's all. It's,
Now it is, yeah.
It's just a computer algorithm that it
Certain words, phrases.
yeah, and
they
just flagged
yank.
it, took it down, or like some sort of picture you posted, like the artificial intelligence thought that it was nudity.
Yeah,
or,
thought that was
like-
a boob or something.
so when they were like, "How can Facebook do this to me?" It's just like it's just the algorithm that you got caught up in the algorithm. Like
Yeah.
it's no human.
The
is,
algorithm's gonna get you.
yeah,
there you go.
It's like it's computer code. That
What do you
got
guys think about the old Elon Musk wanting to charge $20 a month for Twitter?
I think he finally came to 8
Well,
for the
he was going back and
yeah.
forth with Stephen
Stephen
King about it.
Yeah.
I don't-
It's for the blue check, which is funny
Right,
because
to be verified.
I have a blue check. So am I going to lose it now?
I don't know. I don't know how he's gonna do this now.
I have a blue
Gonna
check because
change the whole system.
early in Twitter, I had a guy pretending to be me, and I wrote them earlier on when they had the verification process open for that reason. And then somehow I got verified like 10 years ago or so. It was a long ass time ago.
I don't understand it. Like
Me neither.
I thought the whole Twitter thing originally, which I thought was genius to
Oh, yeah,
do,
we should talk about this.
was like I was convinced that the only reason he even started it was to shed light on the fact that there's so many
Bots
and
yeah, fake accounts.
and like inflation of numbers. I mean, with the stuff that we laughed at old school terrestrial radio with the numbers and how much
Right.
like listeners they said they
Right,
have.
right.
So like and how we always wanted to be like, hey, we should bring this to light. Like all
Yeah.
these numbers are BS. And so I thought he was doing that
Yeah.
to Twitter and then making them like, hey, I'll buy if you reveal your actual numbers and prove to me that these are legitimate,
Right.
like as a way for them to like either do it and show their cards or say no. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was that. And then when now this whole thing, I was like, I don't even understand.
Well, he's a troll.
It's yeah, but it also like the guy, it seems like wants to be innovative and like go to Mars.
What he wants to do, man. I think he's a weirdo.
Yeah, no, I agree. But
I mean, he's fine. If people like him, great, whatever. But
But in the other stuff he's done seems to be.
I did like how quick he backtracked though. He's like, how about $8 a month?
Wow, he's been backtracking a lot. He also shared.
I don't even understand why you would get into Twitter. It seems antiquated at this point. It seems
I agree.
It could be as simple as he's bored. I mean, who knows with that guy? You really don't know.
Well, based on his other businesses, it seems like he wants to innovate. That's all I'm saying. Like, I don't know him or anything. I just know that based on his track record of like, okay, you started PayPal or you built this PayPal, which is
innovative. Bought PayPal.
Yeah, it was innovative at the time, right? It was new technology, like moving forward to get digital currency.
It helped us out, dude. If we didn't have PayPal when you and I were earlier on doing this job, we would have never sold any merch whatsoever.
But my point being that it was new technology helping to innovate the world, right? Which it did, because now look how many digital currency apps there are, right?
Right.
And PayPal being one of the first, and then SpaceX, right? It's like look how many now other private. So and then
I think he wants to make this a super app. I think he wants it to be like a point of. I think he wants it to be a wallet. I think it wants it to be a news source, a way for you to communicate with people, a way to program your home.
It feels to me like that ship has sailed. Like Twitter, it seems old, and no matter what, no matter how much you revamp it, it's still gonna have the same branding and name, unless he changes all that. Then it's just a new platform to begin. So I don't know.
Why not start your own? Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me.
Well, it all seems like starting your own's a lot harder though. It'd be like telling people it's like buying a World of Warcraft character, right? Working it way up from the ground up, you can do that, but maybe you're not going to get as much engagement because not as many, like it's not as revolutionary now. I think buying Twitter is the correct play for him because you're never going to get as many active eyes as you got when Twitter was new.
But then changing the rules and being like, hey, you can only get verified if you pay a fee every month. That doesn't make any sense.
But at least you have the biggest section of humans, and then if they mass exodus, well, that's on you.
Yeah.
With the verification thing, is it you can pay to become verified?
No details have come out yet.
Yeah.
It's looking as if you'll
because that doesn't make any sense because it's like,
well then everyone's like, what's the point?
Yeah. Then it takes the anything special away from being verified.
It looks as if it'd be $8 a month, and then there would have to be some sort of verification process to it. Like I don't know if they link it to your driver's license, your social. Who knows?
Oh, I don't want that.
Who knows? Well, I mean, but it would stop trolls. I mean, if it were linked to you, maybe you'd be less likely to say Nazi-like things, right? If you're really a troll and you don't believe those things, maybe you would be less likely to be anti-Semitic or be racist or I don't know.
Yeah, be accountable
or
for
how
your
about
words
revenge porn? You wouldn't post anonymously that photo of your ex-girlfriend on Twitter because it's linked to your license and everybody's and there'll be like real legal ramifications, right?
So it says Elon Musk has doubled down on Twitter's proposed new $8 per month fee for users who want to keep their blue check. So yeah, if you want to keep it, Dan, you're gonna have to start paying $8.
It's not that important to me. I mean, I don't. What does it do for me? I'll just keep the check. I mean,
well, you can't keep it unless.
No, I know, but I'm just saying. I mean.
He tweeted out to all complainers, please continue complaining, but it will cost $8.
All right, $8 it is.
Will you pay?
I don't know. I don't think so.
It says included in the price would not only be the blue check mark, but also priority in search, fewer ads, and the ability to post long-form videos.
But that's only, how many people have a blue check mark? I mean, it's got to be, what?
Not very
2% of Twitter?
Probably less.
Less than that?
Probably less than 2%.
Yeah. Is it less than 1%? I imagine. That whole blue check mark process was a joke to begin with because there were people that were famous that didn't have it because of, and then there was people that are not famous that did have it, it was all random how you got it, right?
I don't think I can justify paying $8 a month when I pay less than that for the MLB package and I watch every baseball game in the world.
Yeah, how often are you actually tweeting?
I do every time we release a show, but it's all automated through Twitter. And does it matter to our listeners if I have a blue check or not? Probably doesn't, right?
Well, our listeners know that it's you.
Right.
Right, they
And
know
they're
it's
no-
me.
and
I
they're-
don't need the check, so I'm not gonna pay.
I guess for like celebrities, for like I know
For a company, I guess, if you were like a large company, if you're Clorox, I can see you getting the blue check.
there's
You got $8.
there's certain industries that have like grabbed a hold of Twitter and used that as their their preferred social media.
Yeah.
And like the sports gambling industry is really
Yeah, a lot
Twitter.
of weather people use it because it's fast, it's quick,
Yeah.
and it's text-based, and you can get out the information quick.
But it seems like for other people prefer other social media.
Well, visual form media, right? If you're like an artist, other than a writer, if you're
Yeah,
just a physical artist or a sculptor, you need Instagram, right? You need something visual.
There's also like it's funny how these things have evolved because Twitter, and I think society kind of looks at Twitter as the more I guess aggressive social media, or like there's more trolls and
There's
like,
more anonymity and people being rude.
they're more like mean
And there's
people.
nudity allowed on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Porn stars will just straight up here is a small 30-second video of me banging this guy. You can buy more of this at Cam Soda.
And there are more trolls on Twitter.
Oh,
the only trolls that we ever encounter are Twitter. And it's the
100%.
same ones that have been
Always.
doing it for years. And and so it's kind of the brand has deteriorated since it started. And again, I don't understand.
But he's saying that though. He's saying I want to bring back its greatness. He's like, I want to change it and get it back to what it needs to be.
It just seems like for a businessman that's supposed to be a genius, it seems like not a good investment into your funds and innovation. I don't know. To me, it's like buying Hooters or something. It's like I want to make Hooters great again.
Well, but the sports bar,
and then it's like, well, the brand already has a feeling towards it that it's 90s.
But it also, you don't have to go through the legwork of starting a new company. So
True,
I'll
yeah.
always argue on that because I think it's the better play. Look at what Trump's doing with his Truth Social. I mean, there's barely any people on it. He started it from the ground up. I mean, he's there and people love him, right? But not everybody that loves him is on it because it's,
I have heard that when the giant social media companies, they grabbed a hold of a portion of the world that can never be grabbed a hold of again because it's already divided and starting a new one is not going to ever be as successful as, and that's why I heard Twitter, remember they were having so many financial problems and they were talking about it getting dissolved.
Yeah.
And I read an article saying it'll never get dissolved because no matter what, inherently it has so many active users, even with all the fake ones, that you'll never start a new social platform that could ever
be the size. Yeah.
because it started at a certain time.
It's like the Beatle effect.
In our history that'll never be replicated. We're already too far gone. Yeah. So just the fact that so many people use it and have accounts, no new social media could ever come close to what it has.
I think that's what he's kind of thinking. And, I don't know. I don't use Twitter a lot other than business. I just use it for business. Now, when it first started out, I would use it to talk to people. But then it became like a pretty caustic place where people would slide in and say really effed up crazy things. And I was like, I don't need to be on here as much.
Well, even the scroll, that's where TikTok gets me where, I never scroll Twitter just for a waste of time.
No.
And, with TikTok, it's just one video. Well, the thing is about, getting presented your content. Twitter, you get presented the people you follow, right? Mm-hmm. Which there's advantages to that, but there's also disadvantages.
But we're too lazy for that. We need an algorithm. We need somebody to tell us what to watch.
Yeah, you tell me what to watch.
Which is, man, when you put it like that, you should all be ashamed of yourself.
Also, I do think it's, some people are just more visual. So instead of reading tweets, you watch a video and it's just a different way to consume.
We're lazy and dumb. I'm talking about myself.
Yeah.
And I just want to see video, little 5 or 15-second videos
I'm a
or a
goldfish.
minute.
But I can't play audio.
Keep scrolling.
See, I can't play audio, so most of the time I'm a reader. I'm always reading and swiping up and reading. I'm never the videos if I can't, and I'm not gonna sit there and blast TikTok in the bed next to my wife, I feel weird.
I'll watch the videos with no
No
volume.
sound?
Yeah, no sound.
Put your headphones in.
Wow,
or-
man, how do you do
or
that?
put captions on.
Because I'm watching garbage. It's for garbage. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not, really I'm not consuming any of this and, learning from it or whatever. It's just garbage after garbage.
Yeah.
It's nonsense. Anyway.
The kids do the same thing. I mean, TikTok is almost like YouTube for adults.
Yep.
YouTube and TikTok are the same thing in my world. It's just all garbage that they're swipe.
Well, YouTube, though, if we're talking like what the brand means, I feel like longer form and more.
It's like DIY video, I feel like.
But it's more. There's more substance to YouTube.
Mhm.
Like TikTok,
I'd agree.
I look at it as pure garbage, not that much substance. Even though I do have some educational stuff, like I follow. Or like a lot of science and like space stuff.
Yeah,
like Neil
there's a lot
deGrasse
of good
Tyson.
space stuff on there.
And then some other educational things you see every once in a while, but not as much substance as YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, like YouTube, I do, like, and now I finally, and I'm kind of training myself, but now I finally have some channels that I subscribe to on YouTube, and I go there, like, in the afternoons, like, if I go home, and before Maisie gets home, or she'll even watch them with me, and we have fallen in love with watching this guy called Big Banks, and he does abandoned mansions. Maisie and I love abandoned places.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. And the guy, he's like I think he's Christian. And the only reason I say that is he does like a unique thing that I'm not anti at all, but he just like, he doesn't push it on you. But when he starts his video, he gives like a little soliloquy about like what happened to the home when it was built, when it became abandoned. And then in transition, he's like, and let's begin. And then when it fades out, it'll just say like, he who has the power believes in all, and then it'll say like Corinthians 5, and that's it. That's all it'll say.
Bible verse.
That's it, just a little Bible verse, and then it fades away, and then he'll never address it again. I'm okay with it. He just popped a little
Subliminal Bible
yeah,
message.
he threw a little Corinthians in there, and then he does big drone shots going over the pool, and then he walks around and looks at all the stuff, and then his specialty is finding places that still have the stuff in them because the person died, and like the bills are still on the table, the bed's still unmade, that kind of stuff.
Creepy.
And May loves it. So we just watch that. So I can't say that I'm not into YouTube because I watch it almost every afternoon with my daughter.
Man, there's so much stuff out there. It's endless.
It's endless.
It's
endless.
And everybody is just putting out more. Every YouTube content creator, it's just.
Then when you start seeing them break down how they make a video and how they approach it, it gets a little gross. And what I mean by gross is like you'll start to see the trends of YouTube videos where all the thumbnails of a particular trend will all look the same. And you can see it on YouTube. Like you'll go and if you type in like parkour, let's just say you typed in parkour, maybe the top 10 parkour YouTubers would all have like them in an orange jumpsuit with like a black background, right? They all kind of copy each other, and they use the algorithm really to get to funnel the eyes to get the amount of impressions on their videos. And when you start making videos purely to get the looks, when you start like Mr. Beasting the algorithm and by changing the thumbnail so that just the thumbnail uses some sort of psychology to get the person to click, in my opinion, you are no longer being creative.
Yeah, because you're hacking.
You're
clicks.
hacking YouTube to get the clicks. You know how to do it to farm it. Now, other people will say I'm just a hater. He's super creative. I disagree. When you start farming it, the creativity of what you're trying to even do, you're losing your way. You're not even, your focal point is just to try and get as many people eyes on the video. It was never to make good content to begin with. Well, that's probably why I have a disconnect with these type of social media platforms. There's a disconnect for me because I'm like, why are you even doing that? You're not doing that because you love doing it. You're doing that to hack it. You're doing it to get the huge number.
Well, it's funny because that's the inevitable deterioration of all media, where it happened with news and where anytime you monetize anything, right? The money becomes a primary goal. So and then it's like, so if it's all advertising and it's all clicks and that's how you get paid, then your focus is to get the most clicks. and when that's your focus instead
of the content,
creating
yeah.
the best content,
Yeah.
but inevitably
Clicks over content.
you have you start focusing on that because that's either that's what your boss and the owner is telling you,
Yeah.
or that's what you need to do to grow
Yes.
your money.
And that's I was watching a guy this morning just to figure out how to do something on YouTube. I just had a problem with our YouTube channel, and I went to this guy's channel, and he had updated a new video, and his new video was, he's like, you might think, you've probably heard, he started it by saying this, he's like, you may have heard that, just make creative and compelling content and your channel will be found. That won't happen. Here's 5 steps you need. And I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
God, everybody's going for the 5 steps. Everybody's going to,
Yeah.
how can I get the hack? How can I get the click? But nobody even gives a F about what they're even presenting.
But
they don't care about it.
He's right and wrong.
Right. You're
because-
backwards engineering it.
Good, because he's right in the fact that that's how people, because they don't
He is-
even care.
Right.
Like they're just kids, zombies, just scrolling
Yeah.
through and they're clicking on whatever. Like they don't even.
Yeah.
The person consuming it doesn't even care
Right.
if it's good, and that's where you become idiocracy, right? And
Right.
that it's like we're holding our buildings up with ropes. And
Well,
like,
that's where
it's
my
like,
disconnect is.
What is this?
Who is getting better served? Okay, you got Mr. Beast finagling the thumbnails, making sure that every actor and person in his videos is unique to eye-catching. He's using every little bit,
Every little trick.
every
is
little
a-
trick in the book to get as many eyes on that. Are those people better served than the person who wrote, Lin-Manuel writes Hamilton, presents it to 1,000 people at the Disney Theater at Dr. Phillips? That, to me, presented to those people was only 1,000 people, right? So 1,000 clicks. But those 1,000 were served up a heaping helping of grade
The
A,
most
the
creative,
most
yeah.
creative crap.
Talented people,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, singers, the best musicians, and that's where I can't get that out of my brain. That's why I can never be cool with the YouTube thing. It just, it's yucky. It's gross.
It's weird how this all is fleshing itself out. Right?
Yeah, it really is.
Because we've joked about it, like we're almost the worst content gets promoted or gets
I was
seen the
watching
most.
one this morning with Maisie. It's iPad Day, and I was
but
watching.
that's subjective though too. I could say worse.
Do you
Right.
watch Fizzy Bop? Do you watch Fizzy Bop?
No, I
It's a
don't.
sock puppet, and it's basically like Cookie Swirl C, but with a sock puppet. It's garbage. It's just them, someone adult playing with toys and making millions of dollars.
But it's funny. Like even like
Mr. Rogers did that. He played with puppets.
But a lot more creative, and he had a set, and he had writers, and he put time in, and
Yeah.
he wasn't just slopping out some slime on a
Yeah.
on a.
there was a message at the end. It was like
yeah,
there
he
was
tried
like,
to keep kids off of drugs, and
Yeah.
he was he took time away from his own family to make America's families better,
but
and he ruined his life.
even like
Aw.
corporate like production companies, radio and stuff, they all have always done this. Remember when in radio, this is an old band radio talk, but back in the early 2000s, the whole thing was we were going to put
God,
little
not less is more.
little islands. Well, that was a thing too. That was just to fit more
You're
commercials.
talking
in.
about blips.
But put little islands of content in between the commercials to try to again hack
The system, yeah.
the-
You're trying to hack
the
the
rating
advertising
system,
clock.
the advertising clock. That way you could get a commercial sandwiched between technically, but the
Like-
content was only on 1 minute of just
Yeah.
talking after, and there was just
I do remember that.
It was a way to sell that particular like spot as a premium spot
Yeah.
sandwiched in between content. Which is funny because they knew their talent wasn't good enough to do in content commercials, like go into it, which is hard to do, by the
Yeah.
way. Like some of the people that do that, like will be doing their show and then be able to go straight into a
It's
commercial
amazing.
and out seamlessly without it being awkward.
It's crazy.
That's a talent.
Yeah,
Because
it really is.
I'm not able to do
I
that.
can't do it either.
But so
I mean, we do good live reads. I'll give us that, but I can't. It's hard to roll in, roll out.
because it's too fake.
It's an old,
You know.
but we're talking about an old skill, man. Me and Jack Bradshaw were actually talking about NASCAR radio and how that's a beautiful thing to listen to, but it's an old skill that just won't, I don't know. They're still streaming, right? So you still listen to the races, so it's not going to go away. But
It's also corny, and so a lot of people don't want to do it.
Yeah.
But it's because it's the epitome of hey, I'm forcing you to listen to this commercial without even telling you, hey, we're going to commercials.
Yeah.
Like, because then you give it's like, oh, why are you forcing this on
don't
me?
force me to do anything.
And there's some podcasters I listen to do that, and I'm like, oh, God, get over it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
get
yeah.
through it. Like, I don't hear about your Sherry's berries. and, and it's almost impossible to do a perfectly smooth transition.
Can I tell you something about Sherry's berries? I got them one time.
Yeah.
I got Sherry's berries one time. And
I like that.
I'm just
Yeah,
going
yeah.
to give you an honest review.
Yeah, and use
They're too big. They're too big.
like
Big.
They're too big. Like, you know when a strawberry is I don't want my strawberry to be 4 bites.
Mm-hmm.
That's too big.
Yeah, you're right. It's a mongoloid
It's a-
strawberry.
it- you-
What,
you-
pump
I-
it with hormones?
I look at it and it look like it's dipped, it's swizzled. They dip it in the chocolate, and then Sherry, she swizzles the white chocolate on it. I know you hate white chocolate, but here I got another one if you want another voicemail.
You bring up a good point, because when a particular fruit or vegetable is 5 times bigger than what you're
Potatoes.
used to,
I don't need a football potato.
it's gross.
It's gross.
But if it's really small,
Tiny bite
like
size.
the tiny corn
Yeah.
and like
Cutest thing you'll ever see.
Chinese food.
Oh yeah,
you,
tiny Chinese corn.
you like it more, but if it was big, if the corn was 18 inches long,
okay,
like
eat
a
it.
big
That's
log,
disgusting.
yeah, it
Yeah,
would
it's
be
yuck.
gross.
It's yuck.
You know.
But a tiny Chinese corn is cute. It's so
it can
cute.
go small, but not big.
I'll tell you right now, you want to put a smile on my face? Hand a tiny Chinese corn to a hamster. Hand him one.
Oh.
And just look at him go to town. It'll make me a happy boy.
Tom, Dan, Sam.
Nope, can't play that one. God, I'm an idiot. That one, it's never mind. I'll tell you later.
Hey guys, I got a question for you, Tom. Does your boat have a name? Also, why do all boat names have to be ridiculous puns? Like I just saw this one. It was called Whether or Not, OARKNOT.
Oh, I like.
I mean, I guess it makes for the best of luck.
Wouldn't you
All right,
spell
have a good
it
one. Love you guys.
WATHER?
Yeah.
Weather,
Mhm.
OAR, and then not KNOT?
Yes.
Whether or not.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
There's a lot of knots, K-N-O-T,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
boat names. There's a lot of C. Like
I've seen a couple Not My Presidents. I've seen those.
Like my father-in-law had Sia, but S-E-A.
Yeah, see you
Yeah,
later.
yeah.
yeah. And then, of course, the Barracuda
Yeah,
and
and
the
you had
Aquaholic.
And you had the Lena too.
Yeah,
You had
yeah.
a more traditional, regular, I
but
like
it was
how,
Lena, T-O-O, but also meant to
like
be...
bringing the dog.
There was one in my old neighborhood that said bow movement.
No, yeah.
That's a good
That's
one.
pretty good.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Also a little aggressive.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that came from, all right, they named ships, right? So giant
Name
ships.
it after a woman,
had-
typically, right?
Yeah.
That's why I always like the Lena or Lena 2. Like, that's a good.
What's the current one, though?
Yeah, I don't know. Have you named
Lena
your boat?
3?
We made that joke, but I thought you were going to let the boys name it with you.
We went all through this. I think we picked one. When you name your small boat, it's kind of trashy and laughed.
You know what? I've never known that.
Rich people laugh at you.
I have never known that. My
because-
dad always named his ski boat, and
I
then
see
had,
a lot of small boats.
and my
with
dad would
names.
always put
Yeah.
the name of his ski boat on his
Yeah,
boat.
Yeah. The rich people laughed at him.
yeah.
I'm just saying,
Oh,
like,
man.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. That's okay.
because there is like, I think once you get like, if your boat has a area to sleep in it and a couch, you could put a name on it.
Okay.
See what I'm
So
saying?
you got to have
Like,
like a living quarters.
If you could sleep
All
on your
right,
boat,
that's fair.
And then now I know a lot of people are going to get
you
mad.
can sleep on yours.
Now, also, I will add to the category if you can fish on your boat, but offshore only. If you
Okay.
start naming your bass boat as rich
I've
people
seen it.
laugh at you.
I've seen people do it.
No, I
I've seen
know.
people name John boats.
Well,
Yes.
it comes from they named the big ass ships,
Yes.
and then as
You know what? You should name your kayaks.
you get well,
yeah, name your inflatable kayaks.
well then as it gets smaller and smaller, people are like, I have a boat, I'm gonna put my name on it.
Yeah.
And then the people, like, I'm sure the giant ships are like, what are you naming this, the tiny little
you really think they care?
Oh, yeah. I know who cares. I'm just telling you, they all laugh at you. And there's also the element of they know you had to like either pay someone to airbrush the name on or get the and whatever you do.
You got to get the real guy out there to do the pinstriping.
Whatever you don't put mailbox letters on your boat because
Oh,
it's real
I see
trashy.
a lot of those. I see
It's
a lot
real
of those.
trashy. If you go to Home Depot and you get mailbox
White and
letters,
black mailbox letters.
then that's the most trashy, and they're all gonna laugh
You know
at
what
you.
I like?
Adam Sandler.
There's a guy that drives around Baldwin that has an old beat up truck, and on the side of it, it says, "Mount your TV." in those same mailbox letters.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm always tempted to have him come over, and I just want to say, like, are you really that good? Does this work? Do you get people that say, like, hey, I need a TV mounted. Good thing I saw you driving your dirty truck with a TV mounted written on, mailbox letters.
When you put your name on your 17.5-foot bow rider mildew ski boat, it's basically, I'm trying to think of the equivalent of, it's like putting.
Hold on a second. I think I got one. Would it be like me? Would it be like me wearing a race suit in my car? Is it like too much? Like I think I'm more professional than I am.
Yes, yeah. It's putting a spoiler on your Honda
There you go.
Accord.
There you go.
You know, so
Yeah.
it's like this thing goes 85 max.
Yeah, it's a 4-cylinder automobile. Like
there's no downforce.
there's no turbo whatsoever in it.
Oh yeah, and you're not turning with downforce where you need a spoiler. Is absurd.
Yeah,
This
the
is a
spoiler's
joke.
perfect.
I'm laughing at you. The same thing.
Let's try. I had a good one. Hold on. It is right here.
Tom, Dan, Sam, whomever else might be there. BDM Mike. Listening to a news junkie right now, and old Sabrina's drinking. They're gonna get him to drink some thick water, doing some '90s stuff. Where's the sizzle, Tom? Where's the sizzle, Tom? Y'all lost it? Lost the fastball? Why aren't you drinking thick water?
Thick water. Did you hear
What?
that?
What kind of
Sam
water?
drinks some thick water.
Look up thick water. The news junkie. I was listening
What
to
is
the
it?
news. I was listening to
don't know.
Sean and C Lane and Sabrina. I was listening to the news junkie, and I had to go in, but I think it is the thickening powder that you can get at like magic shops, and I think it like you put it into water and it will turn water. It'll make thick water, but like it's still water. It's just thickened. And I think they asked her as a challenge to drink thick water. That sounds disgusting to me, but
Isn't it just like powder that turns the water into gel?
yeah, like thick water. Yeah.
Okay. Well, but it's edible, right?
I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
I
So
didn't get to hear the end of the segment.
It's not that 90s.
Oh, it was a
That's-
bottle of thick water.
Yeah, that doesn't sound that bad actually.
Yeah.
I don't know if you listen to our go-to shows where Tom was 90s crazy
Yeah, he
the
was doing
entire week.
pull-ups. He was wrestling.
Oh, he wants me though to do it to someone else, but I'm just doing it to myself.
I mean, we did. We ate cheddar
crickets.
crickets. We ate cheddar crickets on the air.
Yeah. We did some 90s. Although you.
Oh, so it is thick water. No, it's not the powder thing. This is you can purchase pre-thickened water. Yeah, they bought pre-thickened water.
Doesn't sound that bad.
And it's for
Gotta be
people
honest.
that have some sort of swallowing difficulty disease.
Dysphagia, difficulty
Dysphagia.
swallowing.
There you go.
So they can't swallow regular water, so they.
I need it heavier. I need a heavier
Yeah.
water. And
They
heavier.
choke on it if it's too thin.
Let's put thick water in our fish tank.
Really? I've never even
and see
heard
if
of
our
this.
fish are slow.
But is it the consistency of like
Welcome back to
applesauce?
the news junkie on
I
a
don't think it's
mediocre
that
time.
thick.
So it's just what is it, like gravy? I'm
No,
trying
No,
to-
it's not that thick, man.
I want it thick like gravy.
So what consistency are we talking about? Like lube consistency?
Yeah, probably closer to that.
Like a
Think think
Lube.
coquito. Coquito.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
like a milk.
Yeah, milk.
Okay. Well,
Eggnog. Think eggnog.
can you just drink milk?
No, you have to drink thick
you
water.
can't drink so much milk, man.
But I think thick water, calling it thick water is what makes it gross, right? It's
What?
grossing me out.
If you,
you might want to try this. People use it for acid reflux and GERD,
Why?
inflammation of the esophagus. You got all kind of throat problems.
Why do
No,
I
no,
need
no, no.
thicker water?
Yeah,
Why
yeah,
would
yeah.
it help me?
Yeah, there seems besides from having that disease where you can't swallow like regular liquid, I don't see any purpose to it.
No, I don't think we need to do
But
this.
it also not disgusting enough to make it true 90s.
I agree. That's what I'm saying. It's not that bad.
I mean, if you want to talk 90s, call Tuttle and ask what things he
One of the worst.
put in his butt.
Yeah. One of the worst
We
is
gotta
he
cut that out.
smoked a joint of another man's pubic hair.
Yeah. I was there for that.
That was disgusting. You could smell the hair. It was a lot.
Wasn't that Whopper Jr.? Not
It was
Tuttle?
Whopper. Yeah. I was
Don't
trying to
talk
remember.
about it.
My God. I always get that and get Oktoberfest and everything mixed up.
COO, he got his own plane. He's flying in a plane with a suit. Uh-oh. Don't smoke. Not.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Don't smoke the pubes. That's funny. All righty. That's Friday.
I need some some intros. I think they want you to do things to me like you guys used to do Butler, like flock your shoes.
No. Well, the whole thing with the 90s radio is the person that you're torturing wants to do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the secret. I don't know if we're still on Twitch, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the behind-the-scenes secret of 90s radio is all those interns that are getting their buttholes expanded.
They love it.
They love it because they want the attention.
It's their time to shine. Sam doesn't want to be on camera right now.
No. Yeah.
She doesn't want to do any of this.
Yeah.
You know, she'd be completely comfortable just doing the show.
Yeah. So,
you know,
and then
no events.
They'll act like it's horrible, but it's like they're rolling in the mousetraps.
Yeah.
Like they got down there and rolled in it. Like
they had to convince their mom and dad that no, this will get me to the next level.
Yeah. It's all about chasing the fame, and if you don't have someone that wants to do that, then it's
it
not
doesn't
even
work.
fun.
It
doesn't even work.
Then she's just mad because we ruined her shoes, and then we have to buy her new shoes.
Yeah. Not that Sabrina's doing any of that, but like back in the day, I did it. Back in the day, like when you get choked out.
She'll do anything, man. She's a gamer.
America's Combat Club.
She'll do it. She's a gamer, man.
Anyway, so that's the fun of it is the person who wants to do it secretly. Except for Butler and the shoes.
That one he got upset
that
about.
One, I think we powered through that one because
that I got mad. I was
Okay,
it's just some stupid fake snow on your shoes.
If I'm just being honest, I think that one maybe we felt that Butler that week had been a little extra lazy, and we leaned it a little heavy on the flocking, and then when it collided, it was bad. It ended up bad. We pushed a little too hard. He did a little too less. Then we flocked his shoes. then I don't believe all the flocking came off his shoes. I think that's what really made him mad. All right. Intros. What did we do?
Let's see. Wednesday, we had Spencer and Jeff from the Science Center. We talked about Weird Al, and then we had the Sanford one with Dom.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Spencer, Jeff, osc.org, and Dom.
I got them.
3, 2.
Hey, can you do a Weird Al style like parody song of the Lady Gaga's Poker Face?
Oh, yeah.
But it's Poker Butt.
Yeah, I can tell. Pop, poker butt, pop, poker butt.
Genius.
You actually wrote it. I mean,
Should we do that with the Science Center being the first?
No.
Yeah.
Good call.
Mm-hmm.
We still on Twitch?
Yes, we are.
This is how
Let's switch that one up,
This is how we
guys.
try to ruin our own show.
I got one.
Sam stops us.
I got one.
That's called Mr. Magoo.
That's called the Magoo. My poker butt.
Oh, God. Thank God I was here this week.
I'm going to grab your shoulders and turn you away from the wrecking ball.
Tonight on appropriate time,
I'm not doing it. Okay. Poker butt. I got something.
Okay.
Hey.
Yeah.
I know it's not Christmas yet.
Okay.
But I got you a gift. We have a guy that knows a lot about astronomy coming in today, and I swear to God, he's going to chirp you good.
Oh, awesome. Will he poke my butt?
I knew you were going to do that.
Stop it.
I knew you were going to do that. I knew it. That's a classic Daniel.
I did the Daniel.
You did the Daniel. You know what? It makes me happy when you do it. I'm like, he does like fun. And then I go, he does like it. You don't have to ever speak. You never have to ever say anything nice to me ever. When you do stuff like that, I go, he cares. He cares. Oh, that was so good. Willie poked my butt. Okay. The guy said, God, that got me good. All right. Now I can't stop thinking about
I know.
it. 3, 2.
Hey, the Orlando Science Center is coming in today to talk about space.
Yeah, man.
And I don't understand why space is so big.
Yeah, it's way too big for me.
Yeah, like why is it so big? Can
It's
it be
immense.
smaller? We'll ask him. First question.
That'll work.
Oh man, I wanted to say poker was so bad.
You're gonna have to do that song now, right? And only the Twitch people will know. And YouTube.
Tonight on a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Tom and Dan welcome Spencer and Jeff from the Orlando Science Center to the program. We're going to talk about an intimate planetary gathering that you can be a part of. And here they are, the Mars and Pluto of radio, Tom and Dan. Poker butt.
I thought you were at Uranus.
I was going to say Uranus, and I had to pivot, and then I just went for old boring. Because it's not like
We can do the other intros if you want. It's up to you guys.
Oh, I didn't even think about it. Yeah, we can do it.
Since we finished both Thursday and Friday.
Let me throw these into Wednesday. There we are. Okay. Ooh, I just got really lightheaded all of a sudden.
Uh-oh.
That was weird.
Laughing too hard.
All right. What was
Thursday we did Who's Beefin' and then Hollerbox was the second half.
Beefin'? Who's beefin'? And Hollerbox. And then
Friday we talked about knowing multiple languages, and Elon charging for verification on Twitter and Thickwater.
All right. Here we go. I got some.
Okay.
It's like the first day I think I feel like an actual show host. I have a producer sending me an intro for a brand new bit we're doing tonight.
No, yeah, what's the bit?
It's called Who's Beefin'?
Oh, okay. What is it about?
I know.
Farting?
I have no. I think it's.
farting?
I think it's farting.
Oh, poker butt.
I guess we can leave that one in.
Yeah, that was good. That was great.
Dom won't care.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, Hollerbox is second half.
And then
No,
They don't care either.
And then the next one, multiple
Only
languages
Twitch
on
will find it
Twitter.
funny.
Twitter. I got some.
Okay.
Hey, do you speak any language other than English? Because I'm trying to translate poker butt.
Oh, I know it's culo. That's what butt or nalgas is cheeks. So it's between culo or cheeks.
Poker nagas, poker nagas. I don't know if I can say that.
Yeah, you can.
Okay. I
'Cause
can or can't?
my nanny told me one time. I said I was trying to explain that the Tommy or Max had a rash on his butt, and I was like, "Culo." And
You
then
know that is slang for ass.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that's what she told me.
Okay.
She's like, "No," she's like, "Say nalgas," which
Nalgas.
means cheeks, or like butt cheeks. And I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Nalgas.
Yeah, because I was like, his ass rash.
His ass rash.
He got an ass right. All right. I'll do black guard here.
Tonight on a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Tom and Dan welcome Hollerbox to the program. And it's their first edition of Who's Beefin'? And here they are. The liverwurst and baloney of radio, Tom and Dan. Tonight on a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Tom and Dan and talk about being bilingual. And they go through Elon's purchase of Twitter. And here they are, the bifocals and reading glasses of radio, Tom and Dave.
All right. Bye, guys. Have a wonderful rest